for the CBI has said that they have been recording the investigation, and they have followed all the procedure. The medical tests have been done, and every tenet that was told by the court has been followed. The judge is questioning that for how long has the Central Bureau of Investigation has interrogated Manish Sisodia, to which the CBI is saying that they continued to investigate him for the past couple of days. The CBI is asking for 3 more days of extension. That's the breaking news coming in at this point in time, Shivangi. 3 more days of extension for interrogation of the Deputy Chief Minister has been asked by the Central Bureau of Investigation here at the Rouse Avenue Court. Now we'll have to see as to what would the side of Manish Sisodia would say, the counsel for Manish Sisodia. But the Central Bureau of Investigation has made it very clear, Shivangi, that the former Deputy Chief Minister is not cooperating with the Central Bureau of Investigation, and that they would need more time to investigate the former Deputy Chief Minister of the National Capital. What the judges have asked that for how long the interrogation has been done. The CBI counsel is giving answer for that as well, but he continues to press on the fact that Manish Sisodia continues to be evasive. As you can see right behind me as I speak, I'll show you the latest pictures as well. The convoy on alert, the police officials on alert, where the CBI has demanded for 3 more days of extension as they want the custody. The CBI counsel again saying we need further custody. Almost till 8 p.m. for the past 4 days he have been investigative, but he also moved the Supreme Court in the meanwhile, which derailed the investigation. So one solid point coming from the side of the CBI counsel, that they are saying that the Supreme Court was moved, and the counsel along with the former Deputy Chief Minister had to present themselves there, which is why the entire interrogation was derailed. So 2 main points coming in. I beg your pardon, that the former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia still continues to be evasive. He is not cooperating, and the CBI has said that they need 3 days of extension of the CBI remand. And at the same time, they are saying that because of the fact that the Supreme Court was moved, the entire investigation was derailed. CBI counsel Pankaj Gupta is saying that we had confronted him with the accused. This is yet another breaking in coming in, that they have confronted him with the accused, and after he was confronted, they were not satisfied with the answers that he was getting. We need custody, as the CBI is saying that they need custody because they receive very less time to investigate in the matter. And now Mr. Dayan Krishnan for Manish Sisodia is going to begin his arguments. So what needs to be seen here is, Shivangi, that one very important point, multiple important points that have been kept forth by the CBI seeking 3 more days of extension, Shivangi. That first, that Manish Sisodia is not cooperating. He continues to be evasive. Second, that a lot of time was distributed towards fighting the former Deputy Chief Minister in the Supreme Court, which also derailed the entire investigation. The Central Bureau of Investigation Counsel is saying that he was confronted with multiple accused as well, and there they found that the answers that were given, the reactions that were given from the side of the former Deputy Chief Minister were not good enough, which is why the Central Bureau of Investigation is now asking for a 3-day extension of the custody. They are saying that they have gotten very less time to investigate in detail, and that with the attitude of the Deputy Chief Minister, that he continued to be evasive, he did not cooperate, and at the same time they rushed to the Supreme Court, which had taken a lot of time from the kitty of the Central Bureau of Investigation. They said that they continued to interrogate him till 8 in the night. Each and every bit was recorded, as it was said by the Rouse Avenue Court in the last meeting, that the entire interrogation will happen under CCTV. They are saying that all the rules were followed, but Mr. Sisodia continued to be evasive. We are taking you back to the pictures as I continue to speak. You can see more redeployment of security forces has been put in place. Shivangi, you can see now the CRPF has also been increased over here, and as the counsel for Manish Sisodia has started to speak, he's saying what is the judge is questioning as to what is the progress that has been made. Mr. Krishnan, to which is replying that non-cooperation cannot be a ground for extension. He is asserting, he's trying to fight that argument from the side of the Central Bureau of Investigation that non-cooperation is not a good enough ground to seek more extension. They have already gotten the 5-day custody. They are saying that the counsel for Manish Sisodia is saying that they've already gotten 5-day custody and they could have interacted in that. But again, they're asking for more custody, and that it is not correct and it is not viable. So a judge now asking to the Central Bureau of Investigation that who you want to confront him with. This is a very important question that has been asked by the Central Bureau of Investigation. And you can see that more security deployment rushing in towards the court to manage the entire situation. CRPF men going inside, but the Central Bureau of Investigation is saying we have not disclosed the name in the open court. So now the judge is asking the CBI that whom do you want to confront him with, but the Central Bureau of Investigation is taking a step back, saying that they cannot disclose the name of the person that needs to be confronted alongside the Deputy Chief Minister. So Shivangi, all these updates coming in very rapidly, where the Central Bureau of Investigation is not yet done with the interrogation of the Deputy Chief Minister. We'll keep bringing more updates for viewers. Back to you.
All right, let's go straight across. Your Swapnil Kothari is also joining us live here on this broadcast right now. Very good afternoon to you. Now, we are actually watching and trying to understand what can happen next, because the hearing is on. So what we understand is once more CBI counsel and also the counsel for Sisodia, the arguments are on in court right now. What do you think will happen next? Because the CBI we hear is asking for a 3-day extension. Once again, the counsel for Sisodia raising the same issue that non-cooperation, not asking questions cannot be a ground for arrest. Same kind of arguments playing out like they did the last time.
Well, Shivangi, 3 days extension may or may not be granted. I think we've had 4 to 5 days of custody. We know that bail is the norm and jail is the exception. And it depends all upon the Central Bureau of Investigation how much they can convince the court as to still have further custody of Mr. Sisodia. It doesn't really matter whether he's the deputy CA or just a common man. Ultimately, the court is going to look at the fact that how much evidence have you been able to produce or have you been able to obtain from him in custody, whether that custodial interrogation has been successful, and why do you need 3 days extension? Even 1-day extension, why do you need? So that is going to be the crux of the matter. Obviously, Mr. Sisodia's counsel is going to argue to the effect that just because I choose to remain silent and do not incriminate myself, which is a constitutional right, a fundamental right under the Constitution, does not mean that I'm supposed to say and sing like a canary. And it does not amount to non-cooperation. Now, my point of view on that is that this is a fiscal offense. This is an offense under the PCA and under the PMLA. You will have to say something. It's like me telling the income tax authorities when they question me or send me a notice as to tell us as to why we should not raid your house or raid your office. And since you have evaded income, I'll say, I'm sorry, I'll keep quiet. That doesn't work. You have to say something. You have to say that, sorry, you cannot raid me because I have done this. I have not evaded income. I have only planned my tax. I have not, I've paid my taxes. So this is the answer that I have to give, and I have to produce enough documents in my support. Now, obviously, here he'll have to show that I have not taken any money myself. There are no kickbacks. The excise policy was the way it needed to be. I have not tinkered with it. There are the 5% to 12% commission raise was legitimate. So these are all the defenses that they'll have to give actually and fundamentally. They cannot just talk in the air and say that I'm sorry, I'm not going to give much evidence or much things, say much of the things in my favor, or say anything to you because I'm not supposed to incriminate myself. I'll say only things that belong to me in my favor. That's all I will say. But yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't work, and that's the reason why CBI succeeded in getting the custodial interrogation. Now, whether the Central Bureau of Investigation gets an extension or not, is an entirely discretionary power of the magistrate there whether to extend it or not, and how much the CBI can justify, and if they have to disclose who they want him to confront with. Because if you just don't talk about it and if you want to keep it in limbo, it all depends upon how much the court believes you and wants to buy that argument of yours that you have somebody else also that you want to arrest and then put him face to face. That means you're talking of another extension even after this 3-day extension. Or unless you're going to go ahead and arrest this person immediately once you get the 3-day extension of the custody of Mr. Sisodia. So all of these are very, very, should I say, vexed questions, more vexed questions of fact rather than questions of law. So when it comes to questions of fact, then ultimately it all depends upon the court as to how much it wants to believe you as an agency. It believed you in the first place. That's the reason why it gave you 5 days custody. You went to the Supreme Court in between. The Supreme Court said nothing doing. Go back to the lower court. You can't just come knocking to our doors and just because you happen to be in Delhi and because you happen to be a deputy CM of Delhi and because we are located in Delhi. So go to the Delhi High Court. Use the tier system first. Go to the lower court first. And obviously they haven't gone yet. It seems otherwise we would have come to know. Possibly they're waiting for today as to what happens. And, they'll obviously go to the Delhi High Court as and when they deem it fit. But I cannot say for a fact as to what's going to happen because bail is the norm and jail is the exception. So 3-day custody or even 1 day more, the CBI will have to really, really work very hard to try to get that.
Right, Mr. Kothari, speaking of bail,